Hello everybody. So today we have Siddharth over here. Hi Siddharth, how are you?
Hi Abhijit and hi everyone. This
Yeah.
is me, Siddharth Sharma. And just to introduce myself, coming from a background of business analyst and a consultant who has been working in this industry for past 7 years. I've been working as a marketing automation consultant and going through various kind of domains like banking, life science, and marketing.
So Siddharth, can you tell me about an experience in which you analyzed information and evaluated results to choose the best solution to a problem?
So I'll give you an example where such a scenario has happened, and I needed to make a clear choice. Objective of this exercise was to achieve a particular technology that could help to fit the overall core solutioning. It's a banking company, and they wanted like to pull in the data the best way possible to identify the right kind of customers. So my job was to move across the teams, finding out what technology they are capable of, understanding what is the best appropriate tool possible, and how we can propose a client with it. First thing I think we did was our pilot, where we pulled up the then we send a a request for proposal along with it. So to get to this point, we had decided on certain scorecards that accessed and evaluated data score points that were tactical, strategic, and financial oriented as well as technical. So by this analysis, we formulated like which was the best app solution at that moment that could drive the project through, and that did help.
So can you share an effective approach to working with large amount of information or data, and how has your approach, helped your previous employer?
So I'll give you an example where I have come across such unstructured data and I've pulled across a view that helped my client to get some meaning out of it. I was working in a process past year where I had a database of 5,000 users into a particular product. There was a challenge of adapting that product because of lack of interest, because people do not want to move from paperback or into technology that easy. Coming from a business or a marketing background, which might not be tech savvy. So my job here was to analyze where was the problem coming from. So I had a touch base with my clients, understanding what was the complication with the tool. So I kind of formulated that there were issues in learning, and this was found out by how much time a person could spend on a particular page or a tool. And this was identified by from page timeouts and session information. And I found out like which tasks were creating more time consuming effect. So after doing that, I went back to my client and I explained him that these are the tasks and these were the people who were lacking behind. How about giving them an additional resource or helping them better to understand the tool? Let's walk it out together. I'll have weekly meets with them and conclude that. So after that, I saw like down past 2-3 months, and the results were significant. There was reduction in the time. People were concentrating more on their business than just the app which we developed, right? So we engaged further, and this led to a better adaptability of the app and better ROI conversation for the client.
So Siddharth,
That's
how do
how.
you balance cooperation with team members and independent thinking? Maybe if you could share an example.
So I kind of get everyone on a table to discuss and kind of build a synergy within the team to drive that. So I'll give you an example. So we started an exercise to build up a team that goes around picking up ideas from each individual from different teams, and to encourage them by giving them some kind of recognition later on if their ideas was accepted. And this brought about, you will not believe, like 100 and more ideas per week, and my job was to kind of evaluate each of them and bring them to a page and excel where my client understands that where is the data matrix flowing. And it did show quite a positive effect, and we did couple of enhancements and couple of more improvisation in the process, which kind of streamlined to an end-to-end delivery and reduced again time, effort, and cost for the client.
So can you, share an example of a time when you were able to, demonstrate listening skills? What was the situation and what was the outcome?
My job here is to mediate in between my client and my developers, to bring them on the same page and of understanding. So I'll give you an example where this has happened very clearly, and we went off into a wrong foot with the client because the developer where the client was coming from. It was a meeting, I remember, and there was a debate that was getting a bit hot, and it ended up with going nowhere. So here I kind of took a step back. I went into my minutes of meeting, and which was duly noted, and I made out some clear choices there, analyzing what was the business looking for, because a business might not be having, the technical knowledge or having the cultural background of the multi diverse IT industry we work in, right? So here again, with my understanding, I had to go back to the client, explain them that, this is what my understanding is. Are you okay with it? This kind of brought us into the same page of understanding, and I was talking to them, so they were more keen of explaining me and over elaborating like what the idea was. With that understanding, I went back to my developers saying that, hey guys, this is what it is, and this is how we need to represent it. Can we do a better job? So when this communication happened, and I was like in an open-minded situation to hear both of them out, reason with both of them, and to get them in the same page. I don't think it's irrational, but I could say giving each of them a trust of understanding is what matters, and the feel of being heard.
So, like, if you are selected, how soon can you join?
I'm very keen of joining as soon as possible.
Great. So, Siddharth, thank you so much for your time, and let's hope for the best.
Thank you, Abhijit.